the outside world. That warehouse, and the tiny storeroom inside it, and the hero, and the dog trainer, and maybe a dog, are all set to explode. A dastardly plot, plotted by MacGyver's arch nemesis and international assassin, Murdoch.
Is made of sodium bicarbonate, which is a base, and citric acid, which is an acid. And when you put the two of them in water, they're forced to react. And the byproduct is carbon dioxide gas. And that carbon dioxide gas fills up the rest of the film canister until the pressure is so great that it explodes and the contents go flying, hopefully out that small window right there, onto the street below to a passerby that is standing outside an abandoned storeroom warehouse ready to rescue us.
Okay, that's great, but why do we have 4?
Well, if we only have it in science, it's really helpful to have repetition. It helps validate results. But in this case, it's going to save our asses, because if we only had 1 and it didn't work, we would be screwed. But we have 4 to count on, so that's just a better likelihood that we'll make it.
Okay, but what happens if all 4 of them?
Oh, then we'd be...
MacGyver, quick, the bomb!
Oh. Ready?
Yeah, ready.
Squatters were able to get them out in the nick of time. Meanwhile, in a parallel dimension, our mulleted hero and his personal accountant Damsella also find themselves in a tight spot. Surrounded by Murdoch and his gang of highly trained assassins, MacGyver must once again call upon his vast knowledge of science.
MacGyver, what are we going to do? Not only are we tied up and surrounded by Murdoch's cronies, but by the looks of that C4, we only have 3 minutes.
Don't worry, Damsella. We can do this. What we need is a distraction. What I wouldn't give for a squeeze bottle and a lighter right now.
What, you mean a squeeze bottle like this?
Yes.
And a lighter like this.
Yes! This is exactly what I was looking for. Now what we need to do is get to the wettest part of the room, the wettest corner of this room, and get those gunmen to let us get there without them seeing us.
But MacGyver, why do we need to do that?
You see, Damsella, the wettest corner of a basement room, a damp basement room such as this, is likely to have fungus and or club moss growth. Most club mosses are of the genus Lycopodium, and Lycopodium spores, if I'm correct, if my mind serves me correctly, can create a very elaborate distraction. Enough to let us get out of here before the bomb blows.
That's brilliant, MacGyver. You're great.
Well, don't be singing my praises just yet. First, let's see if this works, Damsella. Follow my lead. Great! We're there. We're at the corner of the damp room. And I don't even think they heard us or saw us, which is weird because we're talking in needlessly loud voices.
But MacGyver, it doesn't matter. I don't see any club moss spores.
You're right, Damsella. I don't either. Now, the air in Colorado is pretty dry. Perhaps it's just not conducive to club moss growth. Let's see here. Wait! Lycopodium spores are also used in latex products, such as condoms or gloves, medical gloves.
Oh, I've got 5 pairs of medical gloves right here.
Great! And I, in my pocket, have many different types of condoms, next to my Swiss Army knife and my duct tape. Safety first.
Awesome. Here, let me take those. I know those.
All right. Now what we need to do, Damsella, is we need to brush all of this Lycopodium powder into the squeeze bottle. Quick, help.
Okay, yeah. The CSWCO9 Eliminator Continental. Wow, that one's really a mouthful. Here, let me help.
Yeah. Great. I think we almost have enough Lycopodium spores in the squeeze bottle to create a fireball distraction.
Let's go. Let's do it.
You know, Damsella, if I just had a pile of these Lycopodium spores sitting on a table, they wouldn't light on fire. Do you know why?
No, MacGyver, but shouldn't we hurry? I mean, with the bomb and all, and...
You know, a pile of Lycopodium spores sitting on a table wouldn't have enough oxygen. Fire needs 3 ingredients: oxygen, fuel, and heat. And a pile sitting on a table wouldn't have enough oxygen in between all the spores to create a flame. So by putting it in a squeeze bottle and squeezing it over a flame, we have enough oxygen infused between all of the spores to create a flame.
Okay, well, let's do it quick before we die in one of 2 very real ways.
Right. Are you ready, Damsella?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Surprised and way too easily hypnotized by the flame, the assassins were not aware that MacGyver and his personal jazzercise instructor, Damsella, had long since fled. Meanwhile, in yet another dimension, MacGyver and his accountant, Damsella, find themselves once again in a predicament involving entrapment, bombs, and palpable sexual tension.
Oh,
We got.
wait, there's some more. I got that. Come on, not there's got to be. I know that where it's supposed to be. Or, yes, wait. Oh, wait, hang on. This is it. I think I almost found it. No, I almost. Aha! Potassium iodide. This is exactly what we need to create a simple reaction that will create enough foam to knock the key off its perch so we can use it to escape from the bad guys.
That's great.
Come here. We're going to take. Don't worry. Don't get rushed. We're going to add
Yeah?
the hydrogen peroxide.
Okay.
First, just take a deep breath. I know that it can be scary, but you know, we always have what we need. And we're going to add the liquid soap. So we just put the hydrogen peroxide and the liquid soap in.
Okay.
We start with that.
We
Then
got
we
it.
add the catalyst to the mix.
But-
And we found it. Do you know what a catalyst is?
No, MacGyver, but shouldn't we?
A catalyst! Catalyst is a substance that speeds up a reaction. In this case, we're going to speed up the breaking down of hydrogen peroxide and oxygen, turning it into water and oxygen. No, wait. We're going to speed up the reaction, breaking down the hydrogen peroxide into oxygen and water, which will leave the water in the bottle, and it will turn the oxygen up to knock off the key, which we're going to utilize with the liquid soap. So the liquid soap is going to stay with the water and get turned up into foam, just like when you use it on your dishes. And then the foam is going to go up with the oxygen bubbling up and out and knock the key off.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
But
I know. Yeah. I'm ready. Oh, wait. Hands up.
Wait, what's the red food coloring for?
Color.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Any minute now, we're going to get the key. Yes, there it goes. The key! Let's get out of here.
At certain points in history, alternate universes have been known to emerge. In this case, at this particular moment in time, such an event is taking place. The MacGyver treble ganger stands there in that single spot, not sure what to do next, perhaps self-hypnotized by the sheer allure of flannel and hair.
Hey. You guys want to see my latest method to distract Murdoch and his cronies? Yeah. Okay. Well, you take a giant bin like this. All right. And then you take some water and you pour it in. And then you take a big old block of dry ice. You know, solid carbon dioxide. And if it were regular ice, it would just melt in the water and not be very exciting. But carbon dioxide sublimates, which means it goes from a solid to a gas. And as we all know, carbon dioxide is negative 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Right. So, it's so cold that being with the water is going to make it boil and sublimate and make some pretty cool reactions. Sometimes it doesn't work very well. And it's so cool, and it distracts them. And then, but do you know what's cooler? Oh, a dry ice vortex. If you take a cup or bowl of hot water
vacuum, and you put it on top, it will create a dry ice vortex. This is a great method for distracting the Draconians too.
That's pretty interesting. But you know, back in '82 in Berlin, my good old friend Pete Thornton taught me a really good distraction tactic called the fire vortex. All you need is a lazy Susan, which you can get from any old kitchen, house you're breaking into, house you're trying to save, and a screen from any old screen door that you run into or run through, and then some white gas. And all you need to do, pour the white gas in your container, light it, and then spin your lazy Susan. Wow. And you get a fire vortex. I mean, both of you know. It's the law of conservation of angular momentum that makes more oxygen get used up by the fuel, which makes a taller flame.
Speaking of fire, you know it's also hot and a great way to distract Murdochians. Well, like that. If you take a 5-gallon water jug and you fill it up, just getting them tools here. You fill it up with methyl alcohol. Like so. Then you drop it and swirl it around. Then you take a lighted match and hold it over. You get methane fireball, which is a great way to distract some Murdochians. You know, my favorite way, my new favorite way to distract terrorists, I've been in this situation several times in the last few days. Let's see, do you have 20 bucks? Can I borrow 20 bucks?
Seriously?
Come on. It's my pockets, it's hard to reach into. All right, so you take a really high valued bill, okay?
Sure.
And, right, yeah, exactly. And you dip it into a solution. I'm gonna go around the table here. That is half isopropyl alcohol and half water. Have that right here. And you dip that bill in. Don't worry. You are acting as exactly as the terrorist would, so it's a good example. Okay, let's see. And then you light it on fire. What? I know. Now, the fuel for the fire is going to be the isopropyl alcohol, right? But the water is going to not allow the heat from the fire to get to the bill, so the bill actually won't be burning. But the terrorists will look at this and scream and cry and probably have tantrums on the floor, thinking that their money is being burned, but really, it's not. And at their tantrum time, that's when you escape. Run, and you can get away. And you have their high bill, so that's good too.
Hey, that's cool, guys. Can I join?
Oh, Dempsey. Anatomically speaking, you're just not really suited for science. We don't want you to get hurt. Science is for the very brave, the very strong, and the very male.
But yeah, I don't know if it's a good idea to himself.
Yeah. No, well, just give me a chance. Just let me see. Let me try. What I want to do is I want to use some liquid nitrogen, which is negative 321 degrees Fahrenheit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it into a bowl here, and then it's a great distraction technique.
Oh, wait, let me guess. You're going to dip some flowers in it, and then shatter them like glass?
No, that's not what I was
That's
going to do.
really cute. That's really cute.
Let's check it out. Let's just check that out.
No, that's but.
Oh, that's fun.
But,
Oh, were you gonna dump a banana in and try to freeze
No, how does that help us at all?
Well, it's just, you know what? It's a distracting method, and clearly that's the only real way to go.
But freezing fruit, freezing flowers, how does this help us get away? No, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna
Take a Cheeto, dip it into the liquid nitrogen, pull it out, dance it off, put it in your mouth, and breathe out like a fire dragon.
No, that's not what I'm gonna do. That doesn't help us get away at all. No. And I'm gonna pour boiling water on it. Boiling water, the temperature differential, it's nearly 600 degrees, and it'll create such a distraction. They'll be able to get away easier, right?
Jeez, wow.
And so it was. Damsel and her MacGyvers rode off into the sunset. From then on, participating in a polyamorous relationship not yet officially recognized by the government.
I guess girls can do
They had
science.
several dozen children, boys and girls, all born with mullets and an uncanny knack for getting out of sticky situations. In the next episode, the three MacGyvers, Damsella, and 28 of their children get stuck in a small meat locker. Will they get out? Well, you'll just have to wait. But the answer is yes, they get out. They're all fine.